anti-government propaganda, and they are talking about so-called human rights and media freedom issues, whereas they have not given any credence to the development activities, the restoration of democracy in the country. And fortunately, in New York Times and Wall Street Journal, I have seen recently few articles, very balanced articles. I hope this development will continue.
And also about the relations with Russia, Sri Lanka's relations with Russia, and also in the light of President's very recent visit to Russia as well. Your comments?
Yes, Russia, of course, whenever the non-UNP government was in power, we had very close relations with Russia, starting with, we have established diplomatic relations also with Russia after SLFP government came into power in 1956. Prior to that, Russians were not allowed to even land Sri Lanka to in 1954 there was an eclipse in Sri Lanka when the Russian scientists wanted to come to Sri Lanka to witness the eclipse. They were not given visas because we did not have diplomatic relations. But subsequently we have established very strong relations after 56, and we have had several Russian assisted factories set up in Sri Lanka, and relations continued. And recent visit, I'm sure, will bring in more Russian assistance to Sri Lanka, and also it will give further boost to the very close relations between Russia and Sri Lanka. And Russia and Sri Lanka relations, the West should not be seen as anti-West move. But fortunately now we have India on our side. Because of that, Sri Lanka's relations with India, the regional power, is excellent at the current juncture. So with that, we can withstand any external pressures as long as India, China and Russia, these superpowers, vetoes, regional powers, are with us.
And also there is a school of thought that Sri Lanka has an unfounded fear for West. Now with all the information you gave, actually we've already discussed it to some extent, but mainly the Colombo elite also go on the basis that our fear of the West is unfounded, and the fact that we have excellent relations with especially India and China, and the aid we receive from China, that what is the difference between receiving aid from China or from the West. So they say either way it is imperialism, either way we are becoming part of a game. So what can you say to that sort of school of thought?
Not at all. I don't agree with that because whether we get assistance from China or the Western world or India, it's immaterial as long as we do not accept political terms along with aid. Any country can obtain foreign assistance and at the same time maintain the sovereignty of the nation. We are a resurgent nation as a developing country. We need foreign assistance for development activities, but at the same time we can maintain our independence. Now Nepal, for example, Nepal is sandwiched between China and India. And for years Nepal succeeded in maintaining its independence while obtaining Chinese assistance and Indian assistance. Similarly, we can do that, and that depends on how you handle your foreign policy. I feel currently we have a very successful foreign policy.
And also just one last question now, because you have been in India and the Council for India as well. We know as India as a federal country is also very patriotic. So what are the lessons we can learn about patriotism from India?
Oh, there's a lot to learn from them. You see, Indian patriotism goes beyond race, caste and creed. You see, Tamils of Tamil Nadu, Chennai, from there to the Marathis in Bombay, the Bengalis in Calcutta, or the Mizoram, Assamese, Mizos, the Punjabis, Madhya Pradesh Hindus, all of them are unitedly think themselves as Indians first, except for Kashmir, because the Kashmir is a highly controversial issue. But except for Kashmir, they are still not thinking first as Indians. The entire country, see, 95% of the Indian people think India first, then second Tamil, Marathi, Gujarati, Punjabi or whatever. You see, that patriotism goes. You see, India's Tamil separatism started in 60s, or even at independence, Ramasamy Naik's We Tamils movement started, and subsequently C.N. Annadurai continued, M.G. Ramachandran and Karunanidhi, they followed the same policy. But by the 60s, it started changing, and by mid-60s, the entire scenario has changed in Tamil Nadu. Their secessionist movements have lost any hold over the population of Tamil Nadu, and they started thinking as Indians first. Tamil person, Subramaniam Swamy, Dr. Subramaniam Swamy could contest the electorate in Delhi and win, because there's no racism as such in India, because they think as Indians first.
So also you've written a book in 2007 about the LTT. Very shortly, just a summary so that anybody out there can get access and buy the book.
Well, this is blood splattered path of the LTT. This is actually for more than local consumption. I have through the information department, we have distributed this throughout the world for to be distributed among the Western world, for them to understand the LTT's brutal, ruthless nature of the LTT. For that we have distributed, and the President Rajapaksa had took copies of this book for distribution when he went to the United Nations for immediately after becoming president. In his first address to the United Nations, at that time he has distributed this to show the world the ruthless nature of the LTT. That was the whole idea of the book.
Right. So, Mr. Senadhira, I think we touched upon many, like from your other book, Under Siege Mass Media, the role of mass media and democracy, and the standards of professionalism that has to be adhered by journalists, and also when it comes to spreading of rumors, that is with non-media persons, the responsibility a person should exercise to find facts and do the best to find the correct facts before spreading stories. And also we touched upon role of Norway in pacemaking at their agenda and their possible vested interest, and the franchise they allowed for the pro-LTT Tamil diaspora to exercise, asking whether they still want to an ELAM. So they, as Mr. Senadhira said, now that was a point of concern, but at the same time the power of the LTT pro-Tamil diaspora is decreasing, and there are many Tamils who are understanding the developments of the country and wanting to contribute so much more to the development of Sri Lanka, and that is a positive step in the process. And also we touched on the coverage of Western media, especially BBC, CNN, and he was very clearly giving examples from the Bangladesh-India situation and of different other international examples, making us understand the role of US with respect to other countries, and the fact that how West has failed to understand that nation comes first and self-interest has to be preserved in the sake of public security and sovereignty. So based on that, Mr. Senadhira, we got a lot of information, especially your lessons that you portrayed about patriotism. What we can learn from India was actually really valuable. So on that note, let us thank you for joining us, and thank you so much for watching us. Do join us tomorrow at the same time. Have a good day.
Thank you.